My brother was, he was such a big brother. He taught me how to ride a motorcycle and be brave, and I went on the paper route with him. He talked me into jumping off the high diving board, which was very scary. So I remember he was there for me a lot. Very smart. He was a genius. His IQ was extremely high. Yeah, he listened to music. We listened to music together. I loved him very much. And then he got ill, and the schizophrenia was very mild at first, and it would just he sort of seemed different, distant a little bit, but it got progressively worse. And if we could have caught it in the beginning, maybe taken him someplace to a hospital or to a group to get some medication, then I think it would have made a huge difference to catch it before it got so terribly bad. I came back to my sister's house, and that's where I'd spent the summer, and there was a letter in the mailbox from my father, which I still have to this day. And he says, "I'm sorry you can't come home right now, but your brother is very, very ill, and I'm afraid he might hurt you." Well, I didn't want to talk about it for a long time. I felt a lot of feelings around it, shame and fear that people would judge me or think there was something wrong with me. And I didn't want to speak of it at all until maybe a couple of years ago, and I started connecting with a group of people that actually talked about it and made it safe for me to tell my story. And that's why I'm here. That's the only reason, is because I really want to help people. Yes, if my father had known that there was help, that there were groups, that there was different medications, if he'd have been informed, if he'd have sought out groups or treatments and things like that, it would have made a huge difference. Instead of just not saying anything and trying to take care of him by himself, and just had no clue. Well, the turning point for me was an accident, in a way. Maybe not, but it seemed like an accident. I was working in real estate at that time, and I had met someone who was involved very much with SARTA. She was so sweet and so kind, and we visited, and she told me what she did, which struck a really deep chord with me, because she was, educating people about brain disorder, schizophrenia, and things like that, and I had a story that had happened to me that I'd never really had told to hardly anyone. She was just amazing. She didn't judge me at all. There was so much love and compassion, and it just was a totally different perspective than I had ever experienced, even thinking about it. And I didn't talk a lot about it at first, even though she was so open, but she never pushed me to talk about anything, just she could understand things, and it was wonderful. So I started opening up about it to her. It's just an amazing breath of fresh air and a sigh of relief that it's okay to talk about. I don't have to hide it. I don't have to hold it in. It's not a deep, dark, dirty secret. It's a disease, a disorder. It's an illness like anything else. I felt so much love and so much acceptance and no judgment. It totally changed my life. And this was just probably 4 years ago. I think a lot of times, I know I have in the past, turned my head, looked the other way when people were suffering from mental illness, because I didn't know, I didn't understand it. It was frightening. And I just thought, I don't want to look. at that person because not supposed to stare, or I just didn't know how to be around mental illness. There was such a stigma about it. I just think that the non-judgmental, loving approach has helped me so much, that if we can all just be educated and not be afraid of it, I think it could be a total different thing, and not judge people, because it doesn't reflect on us as individuals. If we get sick, if we're sick with something else, some other disease, cancer or anything like that, people rally around us, as human nature, rally around the ill person. What can I do to help? What can I do to help? Everybody's bringing food, everybody's, sending information. But this illness, everybody says, let's just don't talk about it. Okay, we don't know how to fix it. We don't know how to help. This is something we don't know, we don't understand. It's taboo. It has been taboo. So I say, if I were going to recommend something for myself or for my friends or anyone else, if someone is experiencing this, seek help, talk about it, support your friends, don't judge. It's something that's beyond our control. It just happens.